So, in the last episode I made a crucial mistake. I had an intention to make a Trench Crusade Battle Report, special Halloween Battle Report, with a lot of random zombies running on the battlefield and attacking everyone. Thing is, I forget to apply that special rule I created, so I made just a simple battle between two factions. Today we are doing kinda the same, but this time we've mentioned special rule and we've mentioned zombies. So if you know nothing about warbands, terrain and scenario, just check previous episode. It is exactly the same. Well, almost. I made one change because of changes in the rules that happened not that long time ago. I decided to replace one SMG trench pilgrim with a similar pilgrim but with a sniper rifle due to cost changes of such a rifle. Previously that was 3 glory points, now it's 2 glory points, exactly the same as the SMG. Anyways, to take it a bit easier, you can see army lists right now. What about that zombies? Well, each action requires additional action success roll, where fail means just a random zombie appears on the battlefield at the 2d6 distance from activated model. Direction is indicated by simple scatter dice from Warhammer. Hit means that rolling side can choose a place but at rolled distance regardless. Zombies are simple black grail trolls in case of stats. They activate after each player activates all his models and they just simple move toward closest enemy with normal move. They do not dash and do not make any additional action. After move they can make single melee attack action, if they are in range of close combat of course. They do not carry any range weapon or cannot use it, because in theory few models has range weapon in hands but they cannot use it anyway. And I think that's all. Or maybe not exactly, I mean I have only 12 or 13, so after all shows on the battlefield the special rule automatically deactivates. So I do not roll for zombie spawns, even if some of already spawned zombies would die. Okay, let's get into it. This time Trench Pilgrims won deployment roll and chose the side with a 3. I mean that is just a better side I think, so a choice is kinda obvious. Pilgrims deploys as follow, this time with a bit of caution and with gaps between models to avoid random long-range nades from Free State of Prussia. Important to note, sniper rifle sits on the top of the tree for a better visibility of a battlefield. And one melee guy also sits up there to make reaching central objective, which is on top of that church tower, a bit easier. What about the knights? Well, they sit on the low ground as close to the center as possible. Most important are infiltration lads. One sits at that right side objective hidden behind the chapel, I mean that knight is hidden behind the chapel, not that objective. And another one is at the stairs leading to the church. As some of you might remember, that infiltration made a massive difference last time. Would it do the same? Time to check it out. Knights decided to choose that first activation and they activated their Greatsword Knight, who is climbing at the ladder and throwing grenade at that chunk of a pilgrims. Yeah, I mean, seems I didn't really avoid that. He hits, deals shrapnel damage and also deals massive damage to one of these pilgrims, who just, well, dies in the process. Another one takes just only that shrapnel damage. He moves forward after that and shoots with his shotgun at that knight, but without any success. At the opposing side of the table, double sword knight moves up and spawn one zombie at the... well, he can choose where he wants to spawn that zombie, and he chose wisely I think. That's the center of that spider web bridge. Now zombie is kinda obstacle to the Trench Pilgrims, he is blocking best way to that top objective. At the Trench Pilgrims activation, that melee guy tries to kill that zombie blocking the road with a Molotov, but he does not succeed. After that he charges at that zombie but doesn't really do any damage. I mean, not really, he just doesn't do any damage. At the opposing side of the table, knight with a rifle moves forward into that top left objective. He holds it and tries to shoot at the enemy, but without any success. Now trench pilgrims move forward and shoots with a bolt action rifle at that knight with a greatsword sitting at the objective, but with a massive success because the knight is down. At the opposing side of the table, again Lieutenant moves forward but fails to dash. Now SMG with fire special ammunition activates and shots at that double sword knight, but without any success. Now back to knights, one of them is moving forward. I mean, that's not exactly forward, he just steps at that bench and tries to shoot one of the zombies, but without really successes. Now melee guy moves forward and throws Molotov at the zombie. Sniper rifle tries to finish that lying down knight with a greatsword using few blood markers, but without any success. I mean, he deals 1 damage, but that's not really a success, because he took some damage from him to improve his damage capabilities. Well, knight's turn ends and trench pilgrims just moves forward. And that's how board looks after first turn. There is a lot of zombies and now there's their turn to move forward. There is nothing really happened during their activation, only that zombie girl at the top of the church tower deals 1 damage to that double sword knight. Well, unfortunately, I think. Not that much happened in that first turn. Free State of Prussia takes 2 points because of holding 2 objectives. They could take 3, but Trench Pilgrim's succeeds made down that 1 greatsword knight was sitting at that right bottom objective. At the beginning of the second turn, Free State of Prussia decides to activate first, and they stand up with that fallen greatsword knight who moves forward and throws grenade at that shotgun trench pilgrim, uses all blood markers and kills him. He also deals some damage to that zombie and he is down. Now trench pilgrims try to break through a bridge, but without any success. I mean, that sword guy dealt 1 damage, but that's not that really much, I think. Here at the top of the tower, knight with 2 swords tries to kill that zombie girl. He deals some damage with a sword, but moves back and throws an 8 at her, but he's still alive. I mean, as far as zombie can, right? Trench Pilgrims moves forward with that melee guy who throws grenade at greatsword and also tries to deal some damage at that fallen zombie, but fails to do so. Lieutenant moves up and again fails to dash. Trench Pilgrims moves forward with SMG, tries to deal some damage at that greatsword, but without any success. At the opposing side of the table, knight with a rifle steps at that bench again and shoots at zombies who are really close to him, but without any successes. Now sniper rifle tries to shoot at, I think, at the grey sword guy. And again at the opposing side of the table, that one alone knight with a rifle who is sitting at that left objective shoots at the sniper rifle, but without any success. Another bolt action rifle moves forward and tries to shoot at one of the zombies, making that zombie down. Another guy moves forward and dashes forward, which is really important because now he sits at that right objective, which means, well, that is contested. No one just now holds it. And at the end of that second turn, one trench pilgrim was killed by a zombie. There is a lot of action going on. I mean, trench pilgrims couldn't really take any objective, which is shame, to be honest. They now losing 3-0 and has to chase the score as at the previous battle report. Important to note that they really struggle with the zombies. There is a lot of zombies at their deployment zone, so that might cause additional troubles. Now knights looks really solid. They took some damage, but that is not that much of a trouble, I think. Knight decides to activate again and throws a grenade again with a greatsword guy, but at that pilgrim sitting at the bottom of that objective without any success, sadly. Sniper rifle tries to shoot at the double sword guy, and well, he hits very nice and well, he kills first knight at that battle. That is massive victory, to be honest. Lieutenant moves forward, moves up and also dashes to hold that middle, that central objective. Here melee guy tries to deal some melee damage but fails to do so, so he tries to move outside of the combat and throw grenade, but well, he's accidentally hit by a zombie. Now that knight with a bolt action rifle has some troubles. He is surrounded by zombies, tries to kill one of them with a rifle, and he succeeds with that. So there are only 2 zombies left at his spot. SMG guy moves forward and tries to shoot at that lieutenant at the top of the church tower. He deals some damage and yes, he manages to kill that guy. Well, knights Free State of Prussia finishes their activation and there's not that much action left on the battlefield. Zombies moves forward, closing range to that SMG guy, and that not much happened. They did a massive job at the opposing side of the table. They managed to kill that knight with a bolt action rifle. That's a disaster. Fourth turn starts exactly like all previous, but this time that greatsword guy doesn't try to throw a nade, but just fights with the zombies who are reaching his position. At the opposing side, trench pilgrims still trying to break through that one zombie who is blocking that spiderweb bridge. And well, second knight activates, tries to shoot at one of the trench pilgrims, but without any success. So that's all for Free State of Prussia. Trench pilgrims tries to clear some ground from the zombies, but well, they do not do that much. And 2 trench pilgrims move up to that right bottom objective. And there is 5-0 for Free State of Prussia. I mean, I rolled for game length, but it seems this time there will be 6 turns. If that would be 4 turns, knights would secure really clear victory. 5-0, that's massive, I think. Yeah, that's the roll about the game length. Again, Greatsword activates, throws an aid at that charging at him 2 trench pilgrims, deals some damage, and yeah, he makes one of the trench pilgrim down. But at the answer, that melee guy throws a Molotov at him and kills him. At the opposing side of the table, Last Knight tries to shoot at one of the trench pilgrims and takes some cover, but in the answer he is killed by the sniper rifle. Free State of Prussia stabled. I do not know how rulebook decides such results. Often, I mean in the other war games, being tabled means to lose the game, but I was never a big of a fan of such results. There is a lot of stories about suicide missions during which all heroes were slain, but they managed to take the objective and technically win the battle. What I have in my mind is, for example, Rogue One movie, where both protagonists dies during their mission, but that doesn't really mean they lost. Well, the opposite is true. They took a massive victory there. So in my opinion, that Free State of Prussia Knights are also victorious, even though they all died during battle. What do you think, guys? Who would win that one? That zombie mechanics was working pretty well. I'm really happy how that was going. And again, infiltration gave a massive advantage for Free State of Prussia, not just for objective purposes, but also for that zombie spawn. I mean, infiltration guys could spawn zombies directly at the opposing deployment zone, which caused a lot of troubles to the trench pilgrims. Let's just take for example that single undead at the bridge. It might have been a game changer, to be honest, because that middle objective was clear for a long time. There was a lot of room for that single melee pilgrim to score some points. Well, you might say, and I think I would say that either, that infiltration may work a bit different with a proper army size or with a proper board. And that's true, there would be some difference for sure. But well, guys, there is hope. There is a chance for me to make a bigger table. Let's say I found some space to do so. That might last few months, but anyway, I hope I will give you bigger battle reports in the near future. I even started to make 700 ducats army lists instead of 500 to make that transition into proper 900 a bit smoother. And well, 700 ducats is a cost for a campaign warband, so that starts to make some sense. But in the closest future, expect rather a bit more army building videos.